It's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer man?
Happy Thursday morning, it's wonderful. And I'm so happy to be in the studio of Unity 93.3 FM from the hills of ZINARIYA here in Jos Plateau State, Nigeria. We are reaching you live. Fiji Adamu is my name, and I will be again your anchor today on this wonderful program, Unity Trend. Today happens to be the 4th day in the month of April, the year 2024. Remember, April is that last month in the first quarter of the year, and so is a month of self-evaluation, and I'm sure that you would do for yourself. Okay, I apologize to you, our listener and viewer this morning, for coming a bit behind schedule. Yes, this is as a result of some unforeseen circumstances and issues, but thank God we are live on air. And so, in the studio this morning, without waste of time, I have to my right-hand side Barrister Paul Zaruma, and he would be saying a very big good morning to our listener and viewer. That I let him do even right now.
Good morning, listeners and viewers. I hope you do have a blissful and a peaceful day.
Thank you so much, Barrister Paul Zaruma. And again, to my left is Professor Poveno Hedge-Ba Mayi, Dean, Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, our very own prestigious university, UJ. Some prefer to have it as UJ. All right. He'll be saying a very big good morning because he's settled at nothing less than that.
Well, good morning, Kobe.
Morning,
viewers and listeners, a big good morning to you. It's a beautiful day if you're in other parts of the world. Good afternoon, good evening. Greetings from the hills of ZINARIYA, Jos City, Plateau State, Nigeria. Remember your goals for 2024. Make sure they're SMART, S-M-A-R-T, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. The year is moving very fast. Don't give up. Keep pressing on. As you keep pressing on, aspire to acquire what you require in life. In case you do not acquire, don't retire, refire again. Keep trying again and again and again. You will get to your goals. You will get to those wonderful, glorious dreams you have for your life. And always remember to be the change that you want to see in the world.
All right, before I read in a glance this morning, I would love to say a very big good morning to the following people. Of course, Mr. Rakas, Mr. Ishako, Mr. Jovi, and Mr. Yomi, popularly known as Uncle Yomi, Mrs. Hanatu Bewaran Beatrice, all of National Film Institute, Jos, and of course Prince Nanshak Jatao of Farangada community. And very, very briefly again, let me just read this one, even as it has been sent to us. All right, in a glance, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Plateau State, Barrister Caleb Manasseh Mutfang, has again demonstrated that he is a human-faced, people-oriented leader. This fact was reaffirmed by the swift response to the cry of the peace-loving people of Plateau State through the office of the Secretary to the state government. A meeting was held regarding the Executive Order 003-2024, where the magnanimous Secretary to the state government, Architect Samuel Jato, had a physical interface with the various unions in their unprecedented number. The meeting was no doubt fruitful. It confirms the saying that Jos Plateau is a miniature Nigeria. The meeting was no less than national coherence. The representatives of Yoruba, HAUSA, Igbo, South, the Fulani, and of course, the Plateau indigenous concerned unions were present. The time is now team listens to the constructive suggestions made available to her on Unity Trend by the amiable, consistent, and passionate guest, Professor Bameyi, Barrister Zaruma, Dr. Ismail, below Barrister Sam Talks, Mishkum Ambrose Gruman, and Barrister Munir Barau, amongst others. Dialogue is considered as the main tool in resolving issues and shall continue with relevant stakeholders. Shops are expected to be reopened today, so I sincerely thank His Excellency Plateau State Governor and his wonderful team for the time is now. For being approachable and for allowing us to engage in this dialogue. I believe these collaborations will yield positive results in the end. I cannot forget to appreciate the Minister Alhaji Ambassador Ibrahim Dasuki Nekande and the management of Unity FM TV for turning the station into a national traditional media stations and for giving everyone the opportunity to participate in governance through this program Unity Training. This message is powered by Honorable Felix Akpunku JP from the Igbo community. Well, very briefly, we'll just go to look at the issues that we have. Honorable Felix, thank you so much for always being there and for also personally Prof and Barrister. Sometimes I wonder the kind gesture that is flowing through the management of this very organization, Unity FM and TV. Most of the programs we have here are not sponsored, not because there are no programs that demands people to be, but giving it to people to participate. Most of the programs, like you have community magazine, the Uruguay, the Fizere, the Magavul, and the rest, all for free.
Yeah, Naguta.
The Naguta and the rest, all for free. So you can see, and
it's amazing.
It is.
We must appreciate again and again Alhaji Nakande and the Unity FM management for this sense of magnanimity, this generosity to the community, for ensuring that the community listens to the voice of reason at no cost. So many programs, like you said, free, instead of making Unity FM be like a money-making, venture, business. No, they decided that let this be community service, a service to the community, a means of impacting the community. The community needs to listen to the voice of reason, and we must appreciate this legendary great vision, of the Unity FM management, and we hope that they can keep it up and continue in this great service to fatherland, and we hope that others can emulate this selflessness, this great generosity, great sense of magnanimity of the Unity FM management. Thank you very much, Alhaji Nakande and the entire management of Unity FM.
Of course, we are streaming live in case you want to see if I'm still wearing my glasses this morning. It's at Unity Radio FM/TV just for Facebook. Please just join us. I would truly appreciate it, especially if you throw your comments, because I get to read them later on. Okay, maybe we begin by looking at this one. Earlier on, before we came on air, Prof, you were just saying something, you prophesied, and it worked. Barrister Zaruma is of the, did you say class A? Or?
Band A, power supply, Band A or category A.
All right, category A. All right, so we have this one. It says electricity manufacturers, labor tackled federal government over 240% tariff hike, insist on subsidy. Maybe we'll begin here.
Yeah, the electricity tariffs, there have been rumors that there will be increase. Finally, it is coming to pass. But to begin with, they are targeting the Band A power users or Category A power users. Presumably, these people enjoy about 20 hours of electricity supply. And they make up only 15% of electricity users in Nigeria. And these people have their electricity tariff increased by more than 200%, from paying about 68 naira, thereabout per kilowatt hour. Now they'll be paying about 250 or thereabout naira per kilowatt hour. This is a tremendous increase. But the electricity distribution companies are insisting that if this is not done, it is not sustainable. They can't sustain the present subsidy that is given to everybody. So they feel that the category A or band A power users of electricity in Nigeria have the means to pay for this increased tariffs. So the tariff should be increased. So this took effect from yesterday, the increase. And well, business owners, and other people in this category are already complaining that this is not good for business. And I'm sure even those who use this initially, they call it industrial line, but many people use it for domestic purposes. I'm sure that they will also be complaining about this tariff increase. But the company has explained that they have to do this because they cannot continue to subsidize. However, those in band B and C will still enjoy subsidy for some time. For some time before the increase also comes. Because ultimately, the tariff will be increased for everybody at the end of the day. But for now, our friend Barrister Zaruma, the big people,
they're the one already.
They'll be paying more than the rest of us.
So how does it feel to pay this amount?
Well, when you are getting what you are paying for, at least sometimes it's manageable. However, it's not easy. We are going to pay through our noses. And then if you also look at factories that are into production, I wonder if some of them will continue with production because they are just struggling with the issue of removal of fuel subsidies since last year. So many of them are even out of market. And then those that are struggling to remain in the market, they are now being confronted with this tariff increase. So I think something needs to be done about these issues, so that we will not lose companies. During Obasanjo time, when the tariff was increased, many companies left Kaduna to Ghana. Many companies left Kaduna to Kano because they did a kind of calculation. If you produce these materials in Ghana, how much will it take you to import them to Nigeria? And how much is the electricity tariff in Ghana? And then at that time, the electricity tariff in Ghana was lower. You begin to wonder, and Nigeria supply powers to some of these countries. And they enjoy consistent power supply. And here in Nigeria, we don't enjoy such a consistent power supply. And then how come at times their tariff is even lower? That companies are even leaving the source to the second-hand beneficiary. So at times we have to really look inward and see what is really wrong with our system in this country and work towards making this country an industrial country.
Thank you for bringing this to the conversation this morning.
Yeah, let me add a little bit to that, because ultimately, on a serious note, this increase is not only affecting these band A power users, it is going to affect all of us. Because the business owners are going to increase the cost of their products. The factories are going to be paying more. Do you think that they will keep selling goods at December? No. Ultimately, everybody will be affected because the prices of these goods and services that they offer will be increased so that they can pay the electricity tariff. So it is returning back to the rest of us. Again. So all of us should be worried and concerned about this.
Yes, of course. And very quickly, because we would love to put on the studio line later on to get to hear what we call city reports, so that our listener will call us and freely tell us what the problem is with himself or the community. We call it city report. But this one says Tinubu signs a student loan amendment bill into law. Let's begin. Prof, over to you.
Yes, last year he did a similar thing. However, in 2023, when he signed that student loan bill into law, later they had to make some modifications this year. They had to look at it again. One of the things they looked at was that not everybody wants to go to the university or higher institution. Some people want to go into vocational aspects, and they want to develop skills, learn some handcraft and the rest of it. And they were not initially covered when the 2023 student loan bill was signed into law. And so they had to go back. There were also other matters like what happens if you don't have enough collateral, for example? What happens when you're not able to pay back the loan? And what more provision of more time for students after graduation to work for some time, at least 2 years, before they start repaying back this loan. You know, some of those things had to be considered, and they were incorporated into the new bill. So thankfully, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu has signed this student loan bill into law yesterday. It means that students will be able to access at least 500,000 naira loan per year, per session, you know, to be able to offset maybe some living expenses, you know, and pay fees, you know, and things like that. It is fantastic. It is wonderful. It comes with its own problems. Mostly, how do you repay back the loan if you don't have a job after graduation? We know that most of our graduates don't have jobs. We have Nigerians on the streets for 10 years. Graduates, they don't have jobs. Amazingly, we even have not only on graduates, first degree, even PhD holders. I know PhD holders in this country that are still looking for a job. So, how are they going to repay back this loan after graduation? Even though the new bill tried to address this a little bit, but it has not addressed it, you know, enough. Some aspects still need to be looked at. But I think it is, I will call it a good step, but it can be better. For us in academics, we insist that the government should convert this loan to grants. Give grants to students instead of giving them loans. We are rich enough to give grants to students. In those days, when our present leaders, Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the rest, went to universities, went to schools, how much did they pay? Did they need a loan? No. In fact, their state governments were paying for them to study in the university. In those days when we were in secondary school, and they give us money at the end of the term. You are paid. You go to the university, you are paid. You know, you don't need to pay for anything. Why can't we do the same thing? Now that we even make more money from oil, you know, compared to those days. Of course, the value now is less. But we are of the opinion that these loans should be converted to grants. Give grants to students, because a loan is a burden at the end of the day.
And I pray that this gets to the very people who need or who deserve this, because in some cases you would have a situation where such a wonderful effort is being sabotaged, and you have people who would always want to sign 1 or 2 documents only when the students agree to pay some certain percentage of this amount, maybe to them.
This new bill tried to address that also, so they do everything online.
Yes.
You don't need any third party or meet anybody physically. Everything is online. And then you'll be credited, you know, online. You finish the whole process online, because they have looked at this complaint.
That's good.
So, but my problem is that it is still a loan.
It is
so
still
it
a
is
loan.
a burden.
So if a call here on this platform, then it should be a grant.
And then in addition to what the able prof is saying, you see, in Nigeria, you can see a lot of graduates, some 10 years, 20 years unemployed. So how will you be able to pay the loan? If we have a system that is working and people are getting employed immediately after graduation, then they'll be able to pay some of this loan. So I think what we need is scholarship, we need bursary, we need a grant, and not loan.
All right, thank you.
At this point in time.
Okay, thank you. I think, gentlemen, I apologize. We'll have to now shift into this program, which we call it Unity CT Reports. It's a program that often comes your way once it is 7:30 a.m. But because of Ramadan, we've not been observing that. But of course, complaints and calls have reached us that people really want to talk about issues that are bothering them in their various communities. And so, especially concerning water scarcities at this moment. And even from a very host community, ZINARIYA community, they're really struggling getting to, you know, have some water. And water is that one thing that everybody needs it. You need water at every point of your life, and yet you don't have it when you need it. And so we'll be talking about this, and the studio line is booting actually. You can call and let us know what are you going through in your community. Do you have some water? Do you have power supply, the bridge, the sewages and everything, okay, like with the road construction that has been going on in the city of Jos? Let's talk about what you have been able to do as a community to clear up the gutters and other things there, so that there won't be that experience of flood, because we have communities like Apata, which and other Angwaruga and other communities in the city of Jos that have experienced the floods in some times. And so what have we been doing to ensure? So you can call us 07032353315 and drop your comment also on our Facebook page at Unity Radio FM/TV Jos. Your name and the location. In a minute, let's have your comments and contributions. But of course, you will do us a favor, but stay away from comments and statements that are not, that which we stick to. That's the vision of promoting peaceful coexistence. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Good morning to
hello, your name?
Prof. in the studio and the barrister Zaroma.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Please go on in a minute. Your name?
Yes, my name is Tafe. I'm calling from Congo.
You have a minute, please. Go on.
Very, very unfortunately, what is going on in this country, honestly,